Here are the three ways that I got over the fear of taking my first language lesson. Number one, just book it before you're ready. Number two, remember the coach works for you. And number three, just be that person for 30 minutes. Okay, so I know you've been studying a language, Spanish, English, Japanese, whatever it is, for month one, month three, month nine, on and off, right? But how do we make real progress? The answer is human connection and failure. After you've done some reading, some listening, it's time for the next step, right? And we have to make that language actually a part of you. And I know you kind of already know what to do, but I'm here to make sure that you actually do it. So let me explain. First, you find a site like italki. I chose italki, and you got to pick someone that's similar to you. Like me personally, I'm not gonna pick like a cute Latina for my first lesson because I don't think I'd be able to focus. But I mean, if you can, then props to you. But me personally, I picked someone else. So you want to send them some instructions and then you wait. That's the basic stuff, right? You can find that on any language channel, ChatGPT even. But if you didn't know those already, I figured I'd just get them out the way if that's what's really scaring you. So point number one, just book it before you're ready. I booked my first lesson before I was ready. Didn't even send them any instructions on what I wanted to cover because I was just sitting there overthinking it all. So, but here's the truth, every coach can teach you Spanish. That's not the issue. You're really the one teaching yourself Spanish. The real question is, will you like your coach and will you want to come back again? For me, that answer was yes, not just because of the tutor, but because of the person that I've built myself into. Like, I've kind of trained myself to become more friendly, more relaxed, more outgoing, just not really caring much at all. But I love to make mistakes and challenge myself, and that's exactly why I got into language learning, to, as a vessel to do those things without much downside to it. Point number two, the coach who works for you. So that's a huge part of this. Whether you're booking a lesson for $5, $50, whatever it is, you could probably guess which one that I went with. But the coach is working for you. And that doesn't mean to be rude or dismissive. The point of that is that you can just relax. You're not showing up there to impress them. They're actually the ones putting on the performance for you because they want you to keep coming back and booking more lessons. So just go in there with an open mind and just be ready to learn. Point number three, and I feel like this is a very important point, so I'm just gonna spend a little extra time on it, is that you have to be that person for just 30 minutes. All right? You don't have to be confident all the time. You don't have to be chill every single second of every single day. But can you do it for 30 minutes? You show up as someone who laughs off mistakes, who keeps the conversation going, even if you like screw up like 50% of the time, like I did. But that mindset alone will carry you farther, not just in the language lesson, because that's only like I said, 30 minutes. But once you're out of the language lesson, like you carry that with you for your entire life. So here's the thing. Obviously, I wasn't that person in my during my first lesson, not even close. So a little story on how it actually went. So I booked my first lesson earlier that week, and I completely forgot because I was so busy. Because I was so nervous that I distracted myself by being busy, and I forgot to send my tutor my goals, preferences, everything. And then, the day of the lesson, I was sitting there shaking my leg. I'm like, I hope he doesn't show up. And then he shows up and he's like, hola. And then I'm just sitting there thinking, like, do I say hola back or do I just say hello in Spanish and butcher that? So obviously I went with hello. And then he's like, okay. Um, and then he asked me in Spanish, how's my day going? And then obviously I understood him because I've just been doing all the reading and listening on my own for some months. But then I'm like, do I cheese grate his ears to answer in my horrible Spanish, or do I just say it in English? And obviously I'm nervous, so I say I say it in English. And then Oh, another tip is make sure that the tutor that you're going with, they're they can understand your native language. And make sure, I would say, I guess C1, maybe B2. Like it doesn't matter if they have an accent, because my language coach did. But as long as they can understand you perfectly and you can understand them enough, then that's also another way to relax a little. If you know it, you don't have to know everything. Like they're gonna help take care of you as take care of you as much as they can. But yeah, so then he asks, "What do you know?" And then, my ego wanted me to say, "I know a lot." 'Cause I've been spending months reading, listening, you know, understanding, translating sentences. But if I can't even really speak and tell him how my day is going, then I had to drop that ego. And I just said with a smile on my face, and I said, I don't know. I haven't really looked at Spanish since high school. I was a complete lie, but kept the vibes up. My energy relaxed. And it is what it is. But yeah, I said nothing, not since high school. So then we chatted. He said that we're gonna start on grammar. Like he wants to work towards speaking, but we're gonna start with grammar since I haven't studied anything since high school. So yeah. So then he was focusing on setting up a grammar doc, and then obviously there was some silence. But I know, try to break out my comfort zone, break the silence. And then I whipped out the globe and I was like, "Oh, so where are you from?" I already knew he was from Bogota, but I was like, "Where are you from?" So he could tell me more about it. And then I was like, "Colombia, right?" And he was like, "Oh yeah, Bogota. It's right in the middle, right here." And I was like, "Oh really?" So I was Bogota over there. And then he was like, "It's actually pretty cold and rainy." And that's when I actually stopped like faking my emotions, because I was interested. I really thought Bogota would be like the Breaking Bad yellow filter where it's always like sunshine and hot. But he was like, "It's cold and rainy." I'm like, "Wow, surprising." And then, I told him where I was from. It's from New York, and I was pointing to it, making it interactive. But he was setting up the doc. And then, we had like a little chat for 3 minutes while everything was loading. And it was actually pretty interesting. That's something that I look forward to in more of my language lessons. I really want like, the skill and the connection. Like, it just goes hand in hand. But yeah, so that's what I told him. And then I ended up enjoying the small talk, something that I used to not be too fond of, but I ended up enjoying it. So after that, we started going into sentence building, went to the grammar. Even though I said I knew nothing, but I've been reading and listening for months. So every sentence that he made, surprisingly, I knew like all of it. Like I could like build sentences, chop the endings, make it into the different tenses and things like that. And we made like basic sentences like Demetrius goes to the store or Demetrius reads a book. And then like while he was like making some other sentences for like the following week, and I was able to translate that. It was like Demetrius like reads a book while drinking a glass of milk or something like that. And then like he was actually surprised. He was like, "Oh wow, very good." And like I was surprised on my own, because you know I came into this extremely nervous and then warmed up a lot, and I was it was funny because like he was writing some notes for himself like in Spanish in his native language. I was like, wait, let me translate it and see if I can understand it. And I actually ended up like doing it. I was very surprised. So I knew everything, I just couldn't say it naturally yet, and that's pretty much what I'm working for. And after that, creating a couple sentences, the language lesson was over, and then he just gave me a little feedback, and he said that I'll probably end up being able to speak in a couple weeks from now, which is really shocking to me because I was thinking it'll be along the lines of, like a month, maybe 3 months from now, but 3 weeks. I'm very excited for that, and I'm gonna put the work in and see if I can get it even faster than that. Just make mistakes like how a baby would, pretty much. I have a little nephew and he's learning English, so let's see if I can learn my second language before he can learn his first. So yeah. Just like a personal note from me, I started learning languages during COVID, wasn't super social, and I figured I could just learn a skill by chilling and watching movies. Then I got a job surrounded around a bunch of Spanish people. Either they were bilingual or they only spoke Spanish. So that kind of lit a fire under me and just made me think that, damn, I should have just took this more serious because something that I really could have had to make my life more enjoyable and more fun and just make more connections. Because like I don't want to be a one-dimensional human. I want to be able to sit at home and enjoy a movie or go outside to a restaurant, talk to people in the street, and interact with real life, and then come back home and chill and watch a movie alone or with someone. But so pretty much what I want to make this video about is there is a tutor for everyone, whether your vibe is more relaxed, more extroverted, anywhere in between. So you could drop your personality in the comments actually, see if I can help you find find a tutor that suits you. Just to end it off, go watch that one YouTube video that I know you don't really understand your target language. Go listen to that El Alpha song that I know you don't understand at all. And just remember that the first one doesn't count. So just try it out and I don't know, the globe a kiss.